In August 2019, Gloria Faima left Tanzania for Uganda to pursue a bachelor's degree in journalism and mass communication at Cavendish University in Kampala. However, Faima's excitement for a good education in Kampala would be cut short by the tedious process of SIM card registration and renewal. Faima claims these frustrations pushed her to have a SIM card registered by a Ugandan friend who held a national ID.
So recent, I think it was 2020 there, 2022, it happened, my SIM card was being blocked. Still I need to follow up to get my visa, and it's taking time, to renew your visa. Still it's taking really long time sometimes. So I didn't have SIM card. You start to look, where can I get a SIM card to use? How am I going to survive all that? But most of the time they usually tell you, even if when you call them or you find a way, they tell you need to go at the main office to help you out. So you give them the passport again, then they cross-check it, then they will renew your SIM card. So I started to look at this MTN SIM card. Still it's the same process. You need to give the passport right away. So it was really difficult on me, maybe to get communication with other fellows or within Uganda is very difficult. And my SIM card of Vodacom from Tanzania is already blocked, because if you don't use it frequent, sometimes they usually block them. So I don't have any communication. I started to look away to talk to my friends who are Ugandan. Please help me to register for me. I get a SIM card. You can't imagine with those situations of passport to renew, they broke them. How many SIM cards have I used? There are more than 5.
In a response shared via email, Charity Rob Tomize, a representative from Airtel Uganda Limited, remained silent on whether the company had continued to block SIM cards of refugees and foreigners despite fulfilling all the necessary requirements. The statement from Airtel read in part:
When the refugee's ID has expired, this is automated on the system as per the regulatory requirements. A SIM card issued in the name of the refugee remains valid only for the period of the refugee's legal stay in Uganda. As the refugee ID expiry draws near, Airtel sends the refugee an SMS to visit an Airtel shop for re-verification of their registration details to the SIM card, so that the SIM card can remain on the network. A point to note, a refugee is not in position to buy and register many SIM cards on the same day, because regulatory requirements accept an operator to only register one SIM card on any customer's need in any given 24 hours. Also, regulatory requirements do not permit an operator to register more than 10 SIM cards in the name of an individual customer on its network.
Okidi Christopher, an independent migration policy expert, indicates that it is in most cases difficult for a country like Uganda, situated within the conflict-ridden Great Lakes region, to offer an open SIM card ownership policy for displaced persons. Okidi notes that since SIM cards have previously been used to abet crime, a middle ground between SIM card ownership for communication and national security should be found.
A migrant who comes into the country is not allowed to, is not given a permanent SIM card, is because they are on transit. The other reason is also it is a national security question, because SIM cards can be used to compromise state security and securities for people within the state. More especially when you're dealing with the subject of people who come from states that are failing, states that are weak, states that are collapsing. So you don't know, not all are definitely innocent. Although what I think is what governments need to, of course this is not only Uganda, but all governments within the region, because conflicts are still going to be there. Migration, whether forced or for long time, is still going to continue. And so there is need to address, to have a durable policy framework to address all these issues. So, and what I would definitely suggest is, just like citizens have national identification cards. The same can also be done for refugees. So instead of refugees registering their SIM cards and whatever registration they would want to do within the context they are living in, I think the most important thing is they should be registered based on refugee card. So once you're already granted asylum within a particular state, or you're recognized as a refugee within a particular state, you should be entitled to a refugee national identity, which has security features similar to that of citizens. So what that will help is all the information that is required for purposes of ensuring that to address these temporal issues, I think that is the durable solution.